The Zodiac Killer, the story of an unknown serial killer. The Zodiac Killer's crimes spread terror across Northern California in the late 1960s, where a mysterious figure targeted couples and passers-by on dark roads and scattered parks. Investigators believe he was responsible for at least 5 murders between December 1968 and October 1969, although he claimed in his letters to the media that he killed 37 people. From the beginning, Zodiac signed his encrypted letters with a red symbol resembling a cross within a circle. Let's start from the beginning and the first crimes associated with him. Before Zodiac formally emerged at crime scenes, suspicious murders had occurred that were later believed to possibly be his work. On June 4, 1963, teenagers Robert Domingos, 18, and Linda Edwards, 17, were shot multiple times on a beach near Santa Barbara. The victims were bound with ropes, and there was evidence that their bodies had been set on fire with cigarette butts, leading investigators to later suspect a similarity to Zodiac's brutal style and his use of a specific type of ammunition. Another crime occurred on October 30, 1966, in Riverside, where police found the body of student Cheri Jo Bates, 18, lying outside the college library, having been stabbed and nearly decapitated. After this crime, newspapers received letters believed to be from Zodiac, describing the victim as stupid and bearing a symbol resembling the letter Z, proclaiming that he would kill more, the confession letter. Many crime researchers believe these incidents were the prelude to the birth of the Zodiac legend, especially as investigators later found multiple similarities between the evidence from these cases and Zodiac's confirmed crimes. The first crime officially attributed to Zodiac occurred on December 20, 1968, on Lake Herman Road near Benicia. High school student Betty Lou Jensen, 16, went out on a nighttime romantic drive with her boyfriend David Faraday, 17, only for them to be found shot by an unknown assailant in their parked car at a secluded Lover's Lane. Faraday was shot fatally in the head and was rushed to the hospital along with Jensen, who had been shot 5 times in the back. Faraday died from his injuries, and Jensen soon succumbed as well. The killer left no clear evidence, and the police failed to find any leads to his identity. This crime shocked the community and triggered months of intensive investigations. Later, Zodiac struck again in Vallejo on the night of July 4, 1969. During the American Independence Day celebrations, the killer pulled up next to a parked car at Blue Rock Springs Park in the city. Inside were Darlene Elizabeth Ferrin, 22, and Michael Mageau, 19, on a romantic date. Suddenly, a shadowy man got out of his car, shone a bright flashlight into their car, and opened fire with a 9mm pistol. Mageau was shot 8 times in the jaw, shoulder, and leg, but survived. Ferrin was killed instantly. Despite his severe injuries, Mageau managed to stay alive. Minutes later, the Vallejo Police Department received a chilling call from a muffled-voiced man who claimed responsibility for the attack and warned he would kill again, also confessing that he was the one who had killed the kids last year at Lake Herman Road. In this horrifying way, the Zodiac Killer forced himself into newspaper headlines. December 20th, 1968. Students David Faraday, 17, and Betty Lou Jensen, 16, were murdered by an unknown assailant on Lake Herman Road near Benicia. July 4, 1969, the killer attacked Darlene Elizabeth Ferrin, 22, and Michael Mageau, 19, in Blue Rock Springs parking lot, killing Ferrin and severely wounding Mageau. After the attack, the killer called the police to claim responsibility, saying he had killed. September 27, 1969. At Lake Berryessa in Napa County, Zodiac tied up Brian Hartnell, 20, and Cecilia Shepard, 22, before stabbing them with a knife. Hartnell survived with 8 stab wounds, but Shepard later died from nearly 20 stab wounds. October 11, 1969. The killer murdered Paul Stein, 29, a taxi driver in San Francisco, shooting him in the head while driving through the Presidio Heights area. The killer then tore a piece of Stein's shirt as proof and fled before the police arrived. In addition to these confirmed victims, several other crimes remain under suspicion. Some investigators believe Zodiac may be responsible for the murders of Robert Domingos and Linda Edwards in 1963, and for the killing of Cheri Jo Bates in 1966, the last potential victim attributed to him is the disappearance of Donna Lass in 1970, which was mentioned in a suspicious postcard sent to the Chronicle newspaper in March 1971. Despite these suspicions, the 7 victims above are the ones officially confirmed as Zodiac's victims. Murder style and communication through encrypted letters, the Zodiac Killer's style combined terrifying brutality with chilling precision. He typically targeted couples in secluded, out-of-sight areas, parking lots or lakesides, launching sudden, calculated attacks, often using a small-caliber pistol, 22 or 9 meters, or a large knife. For example, he shot Faraday and Jensen with a .22 pistol from outside the car while they tried to escape. He used a 9mm pistol in the attack on Ferrin and Mageau. In the Lake Berryessa incident, he wore camouflaged clothing, tied up the victims with plastic bindings, and then stabbed them repeatedly. Despite his brutality, Zodiac displayed sharp intelligence. After each crime, he would leave a letter or call the police to confess and make it part of his taunting strategy. He called Vallejo police after the July 1969 attack and calmly admitted he was the killer, adding that he had killed those kids last year, confirming that he viewed his first crime as a warning. In August 1969, he sent a letter to a local newspaper warning that the police were not ready for him. Overall, Zodiac left no gaps between his crimes. Each incident was accompanied by advance warnings or clues, creating a huge media frenzy at the time. The Zodiac's signature symbol, a red circle with a cross, became a hallmark used in all his letter signatures. This symbol always accompanied the phrase, "This is the Zodiac speaking," at the start of his taunting letters. His self-description and open love of killing, stating literally that he loves killing people, further contributed to his aura of mystery and terror. The most notable letters and ciphers sent, Zodiac's communication was often encrypted and complex. Between July 1969 and April 1970, he sent 4 different encrypted messages to newspapers and police. The first appeared on July 31, 1969, when he sent 3 parts of a cipher containing 408 characters to 3 local newspapers. When 2 amateur codebreakers solved it, the first words read, "I like killing people." He then sent additional letters containing more ciphers. The most famous was the 340-character cipher sent in November 1969, which remained unsolved until December 2020, when a team of cryptography experts finally cracked it. Among the contents of these encrypted messages were threats to attack school buses and kill children, as well as to target journalists and investigators trying to uncover his identity. Alongside the ciphers, Zodiac also sent clear text letters, sometimes containing bloody evidence or pieces of his victims' clothing, to newspapers like the San Francisco Chronicle. In a letter after taxi driver Paul Stein's murder, the killer claimed responsibility and included a bloody piece of Stein's shirt. In exchange, Zodiac demanded that the newspapers publish his letters in full, declaring that he wanted to keep the public constantly chasing him. These letters were part of his psychological game with the police and the public, adding a dramatic and chilling dimension to his story. Police and media response. As the investigation progressed, news about Zodiac spread at an unprecedented pace. Both federal and local police agencies launched massive investigations into the crimes linked to him, but no definitive evidence has ever confirmed his identity. Despite the work of hundreds of investigators and the use of the latest forensic technologies available at the time, authorities failed to directly connect any suspect to these crimes. The lack of strong leads increased public fear, especially after his repeated threats to target schools and kill children. Meanwhile, the media created a storm of coverage and campaigns to solve the case.